Change can be both exhilarating and challenging, and it's important for us to navigate this transition smoothly. In recent years, school operations are regulated with the implementing guidelines on the revised School-Based Management or SBM framework, assessment process, and tool or APAT. Despite the beauty of its purpose to improve the overall education system by transferring significant decision-making authority to schools, issues interfere with its implementation, such as lack of clear guidelines and support structures, limited community involvement, and inconsistent practices for monitoring and evaluation of harness achievements. Because of these factors, the Department of Education issued a new set of policy guidelines on the implementation of the revised School-Based Management or SBM system, which we will learn about now.
The implementation of the Republic Act 9155, otherwise known as the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, provides direction for decentralizing the system of management and governance at the school level and further recognizes the role of local government units and other stakeholders as partners in education service delivery. In 2012, the Department of Education provided the parameters for exercising decentralized decision-making at the school level through DepEd Order No. 83 Series of 2012. However, in the course of institutionalizing SPM, various implementation gaps emerged. Across regions, schools divisions, and schools, areas for improvement were common, yet differentiated due to contextualized practices. Practitioners at the school level contended that its implementation was laden with voluminous and repetitive documentary requirements, resulting in additional tasks assigned to the teaching personnel. These documentary requirements were used as means of verification to ascertain the SBM level of practice based on a scoring system. Similarly, the operationalization of the scoring system became challenging due to the exercise of an arbitrary approach to determining the outcome indicators that would support the level of practice declared by schools. In response to these implementation concerns, the policy guidelines on the school-based management were updated with new framework, process, principles, and scoring system. The updating of the policy provides a definitive understanding that SBM is the gateway to school effectiveness. The practice of SBM is the preparation phase in which all schools are given an equitable opportunity to hone their intrinsic motivation to continuously improve. It is through this appreciation of the linkage between SBM and organizational success that schools learn how to endeavor for excellence. Furthermore, the updated guidelines enhance the commitment of education stakeholders to the responsibilities and accountabilities in realizing improved learning outcomes. Another key feature describes a broader appreciation of rewards and recognitions. While it is a fact that intrinsic rewards and recognitions are aspired by organizations, the department also recognizes the importance of organizational introspection as a strong foundation for sustainable school improvement. SBM is designed to nurture the intrinsic motivations of schools, which shall eventually open opportunities for extrinsic rewards. A revitalized approach to the provision of technical assistance is also advocated in this policy. By clarifying the purpose of this mechanism, the department guarantees an equitable provision of support that is evidence-based, appropriate, and relevant. With the DepEd vision, mission, and core values playing an important role in providing a common goal, all schools shall have access to an attainable long-term objective that shall guide them to reach organizational success regardless of their varying conditions. All public schools in the Philippines shall adopt and implement the revised guidelines on school-based management. This policy covers the scope of the roles and responsibilities of the school's division offices, regional offices, and the central office in ensuring the institutionalization of SPM in all public schools. All private schools are strongly encouraged to adopt and implement this policy. This policy on school-based management is in line with the provisions of the Republic Act 9155. As such, schools, their personnel, and community stakeholders are accorded the opportunity to collectively plan and decide on their delivery of quality basic education, achievement of learning outcomes, and transformation into effective organizations. Moreover, this policy serves as an enabling mechanism to address the challenges in basic education. The effective and efficient implementation of the SBM shall contribute to realizing holistically developed Filipino learners with 21st century skills who are makajos, makatao, makakalikasan, and makabansa, aligned with the sector outcome that is, that basic education learners have the physical, cognitive, socio-emotional, and moral preparation for civic participation and engagement in post-secondary opportunities in their local, national, and global communities. Likewise, the implementation of the SBM shall further contribute in achieving the national goal, which is all Filipinos are able to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to a cohesive nation. All schools shall endeavor to cultivate a culture of continuous improvement. Alongside this, schools are expected to regularly undergo self-assessment using the SBM self-assessment checklist for purposes of progress monitoring and evaluation.
The continuous improvement process is a fundamental anchor in SBM that ensures the transformation of all schools into effective organizations. The continuous improvement process nurtures an ideal school culture that promotes self-reflection, self-management, and self-improvement.
Self-reflection pertains to understanding a school's current situation by describing the roots of issues, concerns, and areas for improvement, and identifying responsive courses of action. Learning is a result of self-reflection. It allows the school to have a broader perspective of its situation, which aids in the development of strategies that shall address gaps, and consequently, the school shall have a deeper understanding of its own behavior. Self-management pertains to planning, organizing, leading, and managing resources to ensure the attainment of organizational goals. It also means the ability of schools to continuously learn new ways to support improvement efforts and expand community networks for sustainable partnerships. Self-improvement enhances the capacity to address problems, refine processes and procedures, innovate on the delivery of services, and continuously apply effective and efficient practices in school operations. Self-improvement is a purposive approach to initiating educational reforms that aim to enhance learning outcomes as well as strengthen the school's capacity for managing change. SBM aims to achieve both people and organization effectiveness in realizing organizational success. It seeks to sustain improvements in the multifaceted areas of school operations. The school head harnesses professional competencies to meet the challenges in management and governance. Thus, the guiding principles applicable to school heads as stipulated in the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads are consistently aligned in the practice of school-based management. The SBM conceptual framework shows the active involvement of school community stakeholders in SBM practice. These internal and external stakeholders observe self-reflection, self-management, and self-improvement to influence the sustainable development of the various dimensions of school operations. As the school dimensions are improved, the achievement of higher learning outcomes is realized, and Filipino learners are developed with the necessary 21st century skills. Explicit in this SBM framework and consistent with the education plan of the department, Filipino learners are envisioned to be holistically developed in basic education, acquiring 21st century skills that will enable them to manage oneself, build connections, inquire, innovate, stay nimble, and serve beyond self. They must take pride in Filipino national identity and nationhood and aspire to flourish and have life skills, economic prosperity, social-political stability, unity in diversity, be responsive, competitive, and live in a sustainable world by upholding the core values makajos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa. Alongside the school's strategic planning process and active stakeholder engagement is an established school monitoring and evaluation, which is integral to effective and inclusive school-based management and embedded in all phases of the SBM practice. This shall encourage self-assessment and, consequently, self-improvement, which is essential in becoming responsive organizations. The following areas in school operations defined as SBM dimensions shall be enhanced to produce ideal Filipino learners and to achieve organizational success. First is curriculum and teaching. School personnel and stakeholders work collaboratively to enhance learning standards to continually build a relevant and inclusive learning community and achieve improved learning outcomes. Second is learning environment. School and its community work collaboratively to ensure equitable access to a learner-centered, motivating, healthy, safe, secure, inclusive, resilient, and enabling learning environment to achieve improved learning outcomes. Third is leadership. School personnel and stakeholders are empowered and actively engaged in taking on appropriate leadership roles and responsibilities to continuously improve the school for improved learning outcomes. Fourth is governance and accountability. The school and its community come together to take responsibility for ensuring participation, transparency, and accountability, as well as the implementation of a plan to continuously improve the delivery of basic education services, organizational health, and performance for improved learning outcomes. Next is human resource and team development. School personnel collaborate to continuously improve individual capabilities and team capacity to create an environment that shall yield high performance for improved learning outcomes. Last is finance and resource management and mobilization. The school judiciously manages and mobilizes resources to support programs, projects, and activities that contribute to the improvement of learning outcomes. The degree by which the SBM practice is manifested by schools provides a basis for the continuous improvement. Schools are encouraged to use the results of their self-assessment as input to their strategic and implementation plans. Always manifested means that an SBM indicator is consistently observed and achieved at all times. Frequently manifested means that an SBM indicator is most of the time observed and achieved. Rarely manifested means that an SBM indicator is sometimes observed and achieved. Not yet manifested means that an SBM indicator is neither observed nor achieved. All schools shall endeavor to frequently manifest or always manifest school practices and learning outcomes expressed as SBM indicators in the self-assessment checklist. The purpose of the school self-assessment using the SBM self-assessment checklist is for continuous improvement. The continuous improvement reached by a school is the intrinsic reward for implementing school-based management. Self-assessment is embedded as a process resulting from school management and operations. Therefore, schools may undergo self-assessment as many times as deemed necessary. This policy, however, recommends and encourages schools to observe a calendar for the conduct of self-assessment and provision of technical assistance. The essential steps in the conduct of self-assessment by schools and provision of technical assistance by the school's division office involves the following. First, the school undergoes self-assessment. This step is ideally done during the fourth grading period of the current school year. The school refers to the SBM self-assessment checklist to guide its process for continuous improvement. The school invites its internal and external stakeholders to participate in the self-assessment, which includes an analysis of observed school practices and achieved learning outcomes stated as SBM indicators in the self-assessment checklist. Next, the school integrates the results of its self-assessment in its strategic plan as identified improvement areas and in the adjusted implementation plan as a school program, project, or activity for continuous improvement. This step is recommended to be done during the vacation months of learners prior to the start of the new school year. Then, the school implements its plan for continuous improvement of practices and learning outcomes. This step is suggested to be done during the first to third grading periods of the current school year. During this period, the school also monitors its progress, undergoes subsequent self-assessment as deemed necessary, and arranges an invitation to its school's division office to provide technical assistance, to which it must be ensured that classes and regular operations are not disrupted. In this step, the school establishes its contacts with the school's division office based on the results of progress monitoring and the status of SBM implementation. The school's division office then recommends specific courses of action that are appropriate to the school's current status and context. The school and the school's division office agree on priority improvement areas in the various SBM dimensions. After all the steps have been observed, the school goes back to the first step and conducts another self-assessment for continuous improvement. Relative to the implementation of SBM, the prior practice of attaching various means of verification as documentary evidence to attest to the level of practice is no longer necessary. On the other hand, the SBM self-assessment checklist shall be accomplished as a record of the status of SBM implementation and continuous improvement of schools. It shall also serve as the basis for the provision of technical assistance from the school's division offices. Agreements between the school and its school's division office shall be documented in the remarks column of the checklist. Recognizing that continuous improvement through the implementation of SBM is a shared goal of the schools and community, schools division offices, regional offices, and the central office, the following provisions enumerate the roles and responsibilities across governance levels. The central office is responsible for directly capacitating and providing technical assistance to its immediate counterparts in the regional offices. Whenever necessary, it shall also accord the same support to the school's division offices and schools, provided that proper arrangements and coordinations have been established with respective regional offices. The regional office is responsible for ensuring that the school's division offices are capacitated in providing technical assistance to schools. The regional office assesses and evaluates the appropriateness of the technical assistance which schools' division offices provide. The school's division office is responsible for providing technical assistance and extending guidance to schools in their process of self-improvement. It is also responsible for ensuring that the results of self-assessment consistently capture the realities of schools. More importantly, the school's division office shall capacitate its schools as they target improvements in the different SBM dimensions. With its internal and external stakeholders, the school strengthens its intrinsic motivation to continuously improve practices, processes, and learning outcomes through the implementation of school-based management. The school head shall assume the role of the school SBM coordinator or the focal person. Consistent with the condition in the PPSSH, school heads have the authority, responsibility, and accountability for taking care of people in schools while maximizing organizational performance and health by setting the directions of schools, managing their systems and processes, promoting quality teaching and learning, nurturing themselves and others, and engaging stakeholders in initiatives towards the improvement of school communities. The function of the school head as the SBM focal person shall not be delegated nor reassigned especially to any teaching personnel. At the school level, the school head leads the monitoring and evaluation of continuous improvement of the various SBM dimensions through the process of self-assessment. The results of the self-assessment shall be incorporated into the school's strategic and implementation plans. At the school's division office level, the school's governance and operations division, school management monitoring and evaluation, and the division field technical assistance teams shall conduct monitoring in terms of compliance with the SBM implementing guidelines. The school's division office shall further conduct a process evaluation to determine, analyze, and address common challenges of schools in their observance and achievement of school practices and learning outcomes expressed as SBM indicators. The monitoring and evaluation results shall be utilized by the school's division offices to continuously improve their provision of technical assistance to schools. At the regional office level, the Field Technical Assistance Division and the Regional Field Technical Assistant teams shall conduct monitoring in terms of compliance with identified roles and responsibilities of the school's division offices. The regional office shall further conduct a process evaluation to determine, analyze, and address the common challenges of the school's division office in providing appropriate guidance and assistance. Again, the monitoring and evaluation results shall inform regional offices on how to further enhance their provision of appropriate guidance and assistance to their school's division offices. Moreover, the Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development School Effectiveness Division shall monitor the compliance with identified roles and responsibilities of their direct counterparts in the regional offices. In coordination with the Schools Division Office, Schools Governance and Operations Division, and Regional Office Field Technical Assistance Division, it shall conduct periodic program monitoring to determine bottlenecks and gather feedback regarding the areas for improvement of policy implementation.
To promote efficiency, the City Schools Division of Bacoor developed the electronic school-based management self-assessment checklist, which may be accessed through this link.
In the Self-Assessment Checklist tab of the website, schools must click their school logo. Schools may access their respective SVM self-assessment checklist using their official school email. Just like in a regular paper-based self-assessment checklist, school heads will check the box to indicate the degree of manifestation in each SVM indicator. The electronic checklist can be accessed from multiple devices and from virtually anywhere, making it convenient for both school heads and technical assistance providers. It allows for real-time collaboration, enabling multiple viewers to see updates. It also reduces the need for paper, which is definitely better for the environment. This electronic checklist also provides analytics and tracking features that allows the school's division office to monitor progress and track completion rates. To sum it up, DepEd Order No. 7 Series of 2024, or the Policy Guidelines on the Implementation of the Revised School-Based Management System, emphasizes the repeal of previous guidelines, reiterates simplified documentation requirements, and introduces an updated scoring system.
The old SVM is out, the new SVM is in. I know that you are all ready for this change. Remember, always be smart, be balanced, and be motivated. Thanks for watching!